And then there's just a little button on the other side that says something. And then a pin. And then here we go. All right. So, Kathy, we like to start with kind of a standing range of motion warm up to get going and stretching, and then we'll add our weights and get to our basic core work. And this song, this music happens to be Let Go and Let the Universe Sort It Out. I thought that was kind of appropriate. All right. All right, here we go. So just open that feet into the parallel. We're going to shoulder roll forward, up and back, forward, up and back. We're also going to add a bend and straightening of the knees. And start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Then we're going to go on to a backstroke. Breathing deeply. Good. Then we're going to come down to open up the feet a little bit more, soften those knees. We're going to come all the way into the pelvis and try out a little figure eight. So you're going to shift weight. You're going to see if you can kind of circle the pelvis around each hip, forward and around, forward and around. And then we're just going to kind of relax into that movement, let it go up the spine, neck, shoulders, arms. And just take a moment, just kind of freestyle a little movement of your choice for a moment. Whatever feels good. Nice. All right, then we're going to cruise on down, opening the feet now on a little bit of a diagonal. So you want to keep your balance, and we're going to take a nice deep squat. So you're going to outward rotate those legs, come down wherever is doable, and then right back up. So outward rotate, and as you do, as you stay steady in the heels, in the floor, and the outer feet. You also want to just spiral those thighs and knees out over those toes. Keep breathing. The hands can just slide up and down the thighs for support, or if anything gets to be too much, feel free to hold on to a chair, wall, anything nearby. Just work within your body's capabilities right now. Good. Then we're going to half bend those knees and take little baby lunges. And as you do, you're going to just double check that the thigh and knees are going over those toes. So Pilates is all about the core strength, but I love to do the standing conditioning for the legs because we still need our strong legs to carry around our strong core. And all of that conditioning to stay up on our feet, steady as she goes. All right, then we're going to aim the toes straight ahead now. So this is considered a wide parallel. We're going to bend the knees. So everything's going to aim straight ahead now and come in, and we're just going to add a little push out and in. Now we can stick out our tail just a little bit. Little belly button into spine. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just keep breathing, making sure the breath doesn't stop, but keeps flowing. All right, then a half bend again, and baby lunges again, now with thighs, knees, toes straight ahead. I'm going to add a little arm to this one, so as if you could reach toward the opposite toes. It's just a little windmill movement. Keep getting the upper back involved. center, and up. Now we're going to come into a little Pilates position. It's going to look like a first position in dance. We're going to stand up nice and tall, and we're just going to add a little swing in the arms and bend those knees and up. So again, now back to the spiral thigh, knees over the toes still. So this looks like a demi-plie in first position, and if you're a dancer, yep, that's what this is also. So nice and tall, but we're conditioning some leg muscles in every direction, similar to what we would do on the Pilates reformer. All right, now we're going to parallel those feet right underneath us, and we're going to bend. Now we're going to bend the knees, straighten, pull in that core as you shift forward, lift both heels and lower. So careful as she goes. We're going to bend, straighten, rise the heels and lower, bend, straighten, rise and lower. Keeping strong calves and feet just as important as everything else. Now we're going to come up and roll through one heel and arch, up, roll through the other, and just stretch those other toes into the floor, up, 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 up. You got it. All right, from here, we're going to go and lift each thigh as high as you can, do an opposite hand tap. So crossing our midline is important for our brain. So we do a bit of that. And it's also a little standing core. Keep breathing, so if you find your breath stop, just let it go, let it get going again. You got it. Now we're just going to do little flick kicks to the front. Flick, 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 flick. Just alternating. And then to the front little diagonal, you can keep them low, whatever's doable. Flick kicks. Shifting weight, still strengthening those legs and hips. You got it. And then a little twist and kick on the opposite diagonal. Also getting a little blood pump in here. You got it. Now we're going to do our little hamstring curls, a little bicep curl. So just a little kick your butt, bending at the knee. You got it. All right, let's shake all that out. Shake and wiggle, 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 wiggle. And we're going to take a roll through. So I'll open up the feet one more time. We're going to take our chin to chest and slowly go upside down. Wherever you can go is just perfect. Then we're going to soften our knees and walk back up our thighs, rounding, stacking, and then opening our heart to the sky. And then again, to center, roll through, gently, slowly. Wherever you can go is perfect. Hang there for a moment, take a breath. And soften the knees, walk up your thighs, slowly stack the spine. And then lift that heart, just kind of doing a chest lift to the sky for a moment. And back down. Okay, good, good. Shake all that out. Let's grab our weights. All right, I'm going to do some standing and then we'll do more once we hit the mat. All right, so just some review of some basic stuff. When we use our weights, we want to stay in good alignment with our wrists. So we don't want to go or too much. We want to stay nice and centered in those wrists. So first thing, we're going to just open the feet a little, belly button into spine, palms up, and you're just going to outward rotate. So elbows are right at the waist, and you're just going to swing those arms as far back as they'll go, opening the shoulders in the front, firing up the upper mid back. So lots of outward rotation for our shoulder joints also, since we tend to curl them inward a lot. We want to strengthen the opposite here. Good. Now we're going to leave them out there this time and add alternating bicep curls. So you want to just keep those shoulders down, nice tall spine, little core activation, belly button in, keep the breath moving. Good. Our bodies can do a lot of these, so tend to do a little extra. All right. Then we're going to change it and come to a wide, what we kind of call a goalpost position. So elbows are straight out. Now the palms are facing forward, and you're just going to go up and come back to that wide posture. So keep it nice and wide. Feel the shoulder blades stay dropped down in your back. Now you gotta listen to your body. If anything gets to be too much for the neck or upper shoulders, just come out of it. We'll change it up momentarily. At the same time, we also need to keep them strong. So just find the perfect balance. And down, good. And then we'll take a nice shoulder roll to loosen that back up. Nice. All right, so now we're going to take our little bend in the knees, keep your pelvis steady, and I'm just going to have you, what we didn't do yet is find your rotation. Hold on. So just, let me prep you first. So just tap those weights to your shoulders and just add a little slow rotation to your spine. Nice and easy. You're not going to go too far. And the hands just are here so they don't cheat, because the arms will cheat. So this is your mid-spine. If your pelvis is steady, trying to find that 12th thoracic spine right in the middle. Get some mobility in there. Also, your low core twister muscles are waking up. All right, now we're a little bit better. So now we're going to rotate and we're going to reach out across the body on a diagonal. So you just kind of reach out, a little punch and in, rotate, reach, punch, and in. So I'm adding a couple things here. Getting some extra core work and some extra arm work here. Got it. Now we're going to do that straight ahead. So you're just going to reach and bring it in, reach and bring it in. Still trying to keep that shoulder joint in good alignment, not round forward too much on these. Good. Now, I'm going to come back to overhead, and now they're going to face each other, and careful of your head, you're just going to go straight up and then back. So elbows are still at a half bend here as you straighten and lower, straighten and lower. Now the palms are facing each other. Remember to keep breathing. If that breath stops mid work. Just let it flow again. Boom. And boom, you got it. All right, let's roll that out. We've got one more here in this standing position, and we'll go to the mat. All right, so now I'm going to turn sides so you can see. We're just going to bend the knees. You're going to take a nice flat back forward, just on a little diagonal here. You're going to really zip up that core. So belly button in, cinch your waist. Then you're going to pull those elbows back, keep the blades down, and add a tricep. Extending the elbow and then back in. Extending and back in. So those lovely triceps we love so much. I try to get them on a few different angles. So just keep drawing in the belly button, long neck, long spine here. Feel supported in your core. Keep that breath moving. Good. All right. So wherever you're going to end up on your mat, just go ahead and lie down those weights alongside your mat, and I will meet you down there. Okay. All right. So from here, let's just move those out of the way for a moment. Let's do a little stretch, a little more stretch. So you're going to open out the legs. Wherever they go is just perfect. Then we're going to rotate and walk down one leg. And keep the legs relaxed, but keeping the knees and toes aimed up toward the sky. And then up through center, walking down the other leg. So your palms are on the floor, supporting where the torso can go. And then still trying to keep the opposite leg up. So there's a lot going on in this stretch, not only the back of the legs, but also the opposite side of the back. So good. Up and over to the first side again. Once you go back to the same stretch, you'll find a little bit more range. Keep breathing. Keep letting go of the muscle tension through your breath. Up and over to the second side. Hang out, do some breathing, releasing. Good. Then down center, so just walk the hands torso forward wherever they go. Take a couple breaths. Let these inner thighs stretch. Then back up, and we're going to do that again. Walk it forward one more time. And then back up. Then we'll slide those legs in, give them a little shake. And then let's come back to that side bending. So hand down, we're going to reach it up and ease it over. So that hand's right out from your hips. You're going to keep both cheeks down. Allow the neck to side bend. We're going to try to keep the arm back in alignment with the ear. Stack tall. Inhale through the middle. Exhale to the other side. Big inhale. Exhale. rotation. So hand on the outer leg, other hand behind you. You want to stack as tall as you can as you look with your eyes to the back wall. Let your chin and shoulders follow. Inhale through the middle. Exhale the other side. Keep looking. And back to center. Then we're just going to reach forward, slight forward flexion here, not too crazy. Reach for the feet. Then we're going to flex those feet up, grab those toes if you can, or just hold them in a flex and let that stretch. Good. All right. So then we're going to go on to the mat. So we're going to lay back down, having those weights nearby. So ease into the mat on your back. Take a moment, just make sure you're down the middle of your mat. So you might want to, you can take your hands right at the pelvis and feel like you're in the center. Also shoulders, because it's very easy for us to be on a diagonal, not know it, and then check for the head, that you've got equal distance on both sides of the head to the edge of your mat. All right, on to the pelvis and the core. So I use the old school version of the pelvic clock, meaning that as if you could tell your own time, your 6 o'clock and lumbar are your 6 o'clock, and your pubic bone and tailbone are your 12 o'clock. So we're just going to rock the pelvis gently on the mat from 6 o'clock, which is going to lengthen your lumbar into the mat, your low back, and then a 12 o'clock press. So just gently back and forth. Breathing and letting go of any tension or tightness here. Good. Then to center, we're going to check out your 3 o'clock, which is a right cheek press into the mat, and then a 3 o'clock. So a right and a left. And it just really feels like you're just kind of rocking your pelvic boat, if you will. Just a gentle rock, cheek to cheek. So since the spine sits in the pelvis, all that we do with the pelvis is helping your spine. All right, then we're going to take a rock around your pelvic clock, going one way, all the way around those 4 points. You're just pressing them gently into the mat, and then reverse. Good. Then you're going to find your center of your pelvis, which is the back side of your sacrum, and let that rest into the mat. Come up to the ribs for a moment. Focus here and take a big inhale, stretching your lungs and ribs, and then let it go. Feel all that deflate. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Again. And release. Good. Then just roll that head gently side to side. You want to let go of as much neck and shoulder tension as you can as we work on our core. So, on to the core. Pelvic floor, you want to envision and feel the sits bones drawing in and up, though they can't move, the muscles can, or belly button in and up, or cinching the waist. So it's an inward draw to strengthen your deep abdominals as you pick up one foot, followed by the second foot. Just give a quick little hug in. And then release the arms, let them go for a minute, and let's go on to our toe touches. So you're going to bounce your big toes off the mat one at a time and bring the other knee in towards your chest. Alright, so while the legs are moving, you're going to start to stay mindful of Pulling in a little bit deeper around the core, around your center. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders and hands that might want to tense up because the body is doing something there, but they're not needed right now. So we constantly detox unnecessary muscles when we're conditioning. All right, rock the knees in, take a breath, flex the feet, cinch in and pull up that pelvic floor again, and heel touch. One at a time, bounces off the mat, the other knee comes all the way in towards your chest. That's really to protect your low back, especially if you're new to this. Good. Grab both knees, give a special hug, and send some love and appreciation to your body for all that it's doing for you every day. You don't even ask it. And look at all the millions of activities and functions it does for you. It's quite a machine, and it's technically your best friend, so be as good to it as you can. All right, we're going to hold on to the knees with our hands, bring the knees in, separate them away from each other, and then back together. So femur arcs or thigh circles. Take care of these hips. And all of this is still related to the low back too, so we do a lot of movement here. Good. Now, holding onto the thighs, you're going to straighten both knees and bend both knees up to the sky and down. Then, if you're really good, you can add flexed feet going one way, pointed feet going another, doesn't matter which. And you're still letting go of that breath if it decides to pause. Good. All right, let's bring the feet back down to the mat, and then we're going to take our arms overhead. So now it's half upper body curl. So as you bring your arms, head, neck, and shoulders just gently up in a small upward body curl and reach past the shins, and then back into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, curl and reach. Inhale back. Let your breath really help with your movement. It's one of the main functions of Pilates is coordinating breath with your movement best you can. It will help smooth things out. One more here. Good. Now, roll the head again side to side. We will use the head very rarely in Ageless Pilates. I take it out of a lot of traditional Pilates movements because we've just got enough pathologies here. So we'll just use it just enough. All right, let's come back to the arms. So grab your weights. And you're going to take that same goalpost position, elbows straight out from the shoulders on the floor now. The palms are going to be facing toward the feet area, and you're going to go up, straight up to the sky, and then touch the elbows to the floor again. So just up and down. Similar goalpost position that we did standing above the head. Now we're doing it straight ahead from the chest. So you want to keep those shoulder blades in the mat so you don't curl the shoulder joint forward here. You got it. Now we're going to bring the elbows right next to the ribs. Palms are now facing each other. Remember, you got a nice long wrist. Now you're going to press up to the sky and down. In this position, elbows are going to land right next to your ribs. What's nice about doing the weights on the floor is that the body really gets to stay in good alignment here. The spine is safe. Sometimes we get fancy and add some leg work to this, but I'm keeping it simple for Miss Kathy today. And sometimes simple is just real good too. All right, now we're going to come back to a little, what they call a little chest fly. So now we're going to round our arms, touch our little weights. Careful of your fingers and knuckles here. And maybe you don't touch, especially if you have cans. So maybe just keep them a little apart. You're going to round the elbows so the weights are right over the sternum. You're just going to open to the sides. Again, touch the elbows and then round the arms back over the chest. So it's a rounded arm, like a hug a tree or hug a beach ball, opening and closing over the chest. Not too high. Think about a little bit of, upper rib area here. So your neck is still long, you're breathing. Shoulder blades are staying in the mat. Think about how wonderful and strong we're getting, taking good care of our bodies. So we can do all of our normal functioning life stuff well. Good, and one more here. All right, now you're going to bring the elbows, and be careful of your head here. You're going to widen the arms. Well, you're just going to open the arms in like a little parallel. And you're going to bend at the elbows, about 90 degrees. And the weights are just to the sides of your head here. And you just, from that position, you're just going to bend and straighten. So back to a tricep exercise for the back of the arm. Just watch out for the head. You're just keeping just a little parallel position of the elbows here. Bending and straightening. Alright, you got it. So we'll place those weights down to the sides again, shake out those hands, and then we'll come back to the legs. So we're going to bring each knee back into the chest. You're going to hold on to one knee, flex the feet. With both hands on one knee, you're going to send the other leg out on the 45-degree angle. So not straight up, not too low, and then bring it in and switch. So you want to get a nice position where you can straighten the knee, flex the feet, power up that thigh, hold it there for a moment while you hug in the other knee to protect your low back, and then just alternate. Pulling that navel into spine, keep the breath moving. And then bring those back in. Now, we're going to take our feet to the edge of the mat and we're going to go on to our rounded bridging. So, you're going to take that 6 o'clock, so back to the pelvis, where you're going to rock the pelvis into like a tuck, if you will, but really what you're doing is rocking into 6 o'clock, where the low back is lengthened into the mat, your core pulls into a nice little C curve. You're going to press down through the feet, and you're going to peel up one vertebrae at a time, and then peel each vertebra back down into the mat. Rock the pelvis to center, curl it back into that 6 o'clock contraction, peel it up, and then peel it back down. So take your time. It might take a few to just allow those spinal muscles to release and stretch, which is what this is really about. A mobility exercise for the spine, but your glutes are working, your core is working. Think about it elongating and creating space between each vertebra. So you're just going from one rounded bridge up and then peeling it back down, going as sequentially as you can for today. Exhale. You can take an inhale again and a long exhale. Whatever the breath just really helps you. Let go, slow down, and take your time through that descent. You can relax the arms, the jaw, shoulders. Just trust your legs and your glutes and your core to do all this work. Couple more. Good. Now, we're going to bring the feet into a parallel position, still a little space between the legs, heels still back underneath you. We're going to continue with that. So 6 o'clock, you're going to round a bridge again, peeling it up. Now you might feel a little bit of pull on your thigh muscles in this position. So do the best you can. It's going to try to stretch them. The more you can tuck that pelvis and hold that contraction, the more stretch you're going to get in your thighs. One more here, then we're going to add some arms to this. So now, come down for a landing, hold there for a moment. You're going to take the arms up, you're going to reach to the sky for a moment, just do a little circle. Keep the blades down, just circle the arms one way, then reverse. Good. Now, your arms are going to go overhead together and come back down by your side together. So up and overhead, up and by your hips. So just gracefully moving that position. Then we're going to alternate. So now one above and one below as they gracefully switch and switch. All right, bring the arms back down. We're going to come back into a rounded bridge. We're going to find our balance up there in the air now. So 6 o'clock, peel up the spine, find your balance, let the wiggle wobble just steady. Once you're there, arms are going to slowly move back overhead, together, and back by your sides together. So you're breathing, keep your eyes steady, straight ahead. Breathing.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday
down. Keep going.
Oh, well,
breathing.
Okay.
Moving.
Squeals.
All right. And then ease that back down. And we're going to go again here as soon as I get another thing of music. We're going to do that again. All right, so now you're going to go back up into a rounded bridge one more time. Hold your balance. This time you're going to alternate one arm above and one below. And the goal here is to keep your torso nice and quiet. Steady your balance through your core, your pelvis. Breathing. Eyes are steady ahead. Good. And then back by your side and peel that through. Very nice. We're going to hook underneath each knee with our hands, nice and wide, and you're going to hug and side rock and roll. Exhale the tightness, let it go. Then with the legs up, you're going to do a little flex cross-country ski action on the ceiling. Then we're going to open the inner thighs all the way out. Hold on to them with your hands. While they stretch here, you're going to circle the ankles one way. Reverse the circle. Then we're going to bend at the knees and draw those knees gently up towards your armpits. So it's just a little high angle here. Hold that stretch. Then ease the feet back to the mat and then just off of the mat. So they're nice and wide, knees are bent, arms just go out to the side as you double knee fold to one side. You're just going to let the legs get heavy here and melt and relax all your muscles for a moment. Breathing deeply and letting go. Letting go is the theme. Letting go. Calming our nervous systems and letting go. And honoring our bodies in the process. Up and over now to the other side gently. Double knee fold, relax your butt cheeks, your thighs. Big inhale and exhale. And then back to center. And take a little mini rock around your clock again there. Just to make sure your low back feels okay. And then we're going to go on to a little sideline. All right, so just move those weights out of the way if they're in your way. You're going to come into a sideline position here. All right, we're going to bend the knees. So the knees are going to be in front of the pelvis a bit. You're going to add a little bit of a 6 o'clock here, just enough so you feel your core kick in. We're going to go on to Big Daddy Clamshell here. So you're just going to take that top leg up and aim the knee toward the sky and then fold it back in. So while the leg is moving, the goal here is to keep the pelvis steady, to keep your core holding that pelvis in place, and letting the hip and rotator muscles do this movement for you. Little side core happening here too. So the neck is relaxed. I like to rest my head on the arm and not do that weird supported head thing. And my teachers were more about conditioning in the alignment that you want and again, just protecting our neck. All right, and then you're gonna keep the feet touching and still outward rotate. I just nicknamed these the little baby clamshell. So again, pelvis is still steady. You can hold it steady with your hand if you need to. from the side or from the back. Good. Then we're going to take that top foot down, stretch out the bottom leg, straight knee, flexed ankle, and then we're going to lift and lower the inside of the bottom leg, so straight up and down. So we go all around the hip for conditioning. Again, just keep telling that neck of yours to relax. Even though it should be resting, sometimes it will tense up unnecessarily. That's part of the mindfulness part of Pilates, letting go of that which we don't need. Does that sound familiar? Ongoing theme in our journey. All right, now we're going to glue both legs together for a moment, come back to the side of the pelvis, add a little 6 o'clock, and we're going to do a lateral lift of the top leg to the sky. Keep the toes and knees straight ahead for now. All right, let's bend those knees now. Give this hip some loving and rubbing and patting and tell it how much you appreciate it for carrying you around in this life. Right? Our goal is happy hippies. All right, we're going to push it up gently. Swivel over to the other side. Just make sure you change sides no matter which way you do it. All right, we're on to the second side. Knees are going to be bent back in front of the pelvis. Add a little 6 to fire in your core here. And then on to the first clamshell. I just nicknamed it Big Daddy Clamshell, so it's the top leg all the way to a point that maybe the knee can aim toward the sky, separate from rocking in the pelvis. So cinching that core. You need to hold the pelvis steady with your hand until it can figure things out. That's fine too. Or if one hip really just runs amok from the other one, whatever you got to do. They're both going to be different from each other, and that's quite normal. But we're just trying to give them some equalizing the best we can. Right, then on to little baby clamshell. Feet stay connected-ish as the thigh still opens and closes like a clamshell. You're going to keep breathing, relaxing the neck, the shoulders, while that hip gets stronger. All right, then that top foot goes down, knee up, stretch out the bottom leg. Nice straight knee, flexed ankle, and lift and lower. Now the inside of the bottom leg, up and down, up and down. The knee being straight here is important because we're trying to condition a certain muscle in your inner thigh that needs the knee to be straight. All right, then we'll glue both legs back together. Come back to the side of your pelvis. On a little 6 o'clock here, flex the feet. And we're going to do that lateral lift of the outer leg up and down to the sky and down. Straight knee again. Toes and knees straight ahead. Nice. Bend the knees. Give this hip some loving and rubbing and patting and appreciation. It's working hard too. Keep us moving and grooving. Do the best we can to hang on to the originals, but if we need new ones, we'll welcome them to the family, right? Okay, we're going to come onto our bellies momentarily. All right. We're just going to rest your forehead or your chin for a moment on your hands. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to flex the feet. And we're just going to take a moment and let the pelvis settle into the mat. So it's as if you can push, which you can push your pelvis, like your pubic bone, down into the mat. That's actually going to fire the core for you. Yes, your glutes are going to power up. That's fine. All right, but let's also feel that lengthening in front of the thigh, in front of the hip flexors. Very important ability here. All right, you're going to try to hang on to that as best you can while we go into little baby thigh lifts, one at a time. You can see if you can lift your thigh at all off the mat. It's not going to be very big, very small movement. But this is the beginning of your hip extension without rotation. And you're just alternating a little lift at a time. Keep that pubic bone going back down into the mat if it decides to lift up. And then lengthen the legs back out. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do a couple more here. All right, let's let the legs relax and let's take the arms to a goalpost, that same goalpost position we've been working on. So now they're laying on the floor. You're going to hover your nose off of the mat and you're going to take a little 6 o'clock again of that pelvis. So you want to push the pubic bone down. Butt cheeks can fire up. You just want to protect your lumbar in this position, big time. All right, so from here, all we're going to do, once you're 6 o'clock and your pubic bone is down, nose is looking down at the mat, you're going to see if you can lift one arm off the mat and down, and then the other arm off the mat and down. So elbows are out from the shoulders, and you're in that little goalpost position. Alternating one arm lift at a time. You're looking at the mat, so your neck is long here. Your butt cheeks are firing, your pubic bone is down, your core is like steel, holding you centered here in this position. You're slightly extended in the spine while you work on your rhomboids by lifting each arm. And your rotators, all your upper back muscles are firing here. All right, now we're going to pause and see if we can do both. So, but you need your core for this. So, pubic bone down, cinch in that waist, long neck, take a breath. See if you can hover both arms up and then lower down. Hover both arms up as high as they'll go and down. Take your breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep pushing that pubic bone down because I know it's wanting to lift up as your arms float and down, lift, and down, lift. Couple more, we can do it. Strong women, yay! Strong upper backs. Yay, we did it. All right, let's scoot the elbows underneath. If you can gently lift up and gently walk back into child's pose or some version of this, or you can just stretch your low back for a moment. We're gonna reach our hands forward, stretch your fingers, curl them up into fists, stretch them out into starfish or jazz hands. Gotta take care of our hands too. These little digits do so much for us every day, all day long. Good. All right, then we're gonna walk up gently onto all fours. We're just gonna take that C curve again. So this is, for me in Pilates, this is a 6 o'clock of the pelvis again, and a rounded spine, right? So a little C curve. In yoga, it's your cat-cow. Pilates, it's a C curve. And quadruped. And then lengthen out, head to tail. Exhale, round again. Lift those ribs to the sky. Tuck the tail under so your low back gets a nice stretch. Lengthen it out. Inhale. One more. Exhale. All right. Then there's all kinds of things we do in this position, but I got to get you moving here. So if you can, tuck your toes. If this feels okay for you, you just push up and over into your squat. Or you just come to a hanging upside down and we'll meet you momentarily. All right, there's a calf stretch right here. If you can hold on to a squat, 1, it's a healthy thing to do. 2, it's a nice stretch. And then we're going to do our bottoms up. So hanging upside down. Enjoy this for a moment. Let your organs release tension, your spine. And we're going to nod our head yes. And shake it no. Breathe it out. Good. Then soften the knees again. We did this before. We walk your hands up your thighs, which is then going to allow the spine to stack. Head's the last thing to come up. We'll give it a little shake. Put the girls back in case they wanted to escape. Okay, and then we will finish upright. We got started a little later, so here we are. And now we're full body stretch yawn. So you think about that while you're twirling the wrist one way and reverse. And now we're going to toss those arms on an exhale. So inhale, exhale. Really let it go, people. I know we got lots of things to toss. So make sure you're letting go as often as you need to. It's also a great way to just move energy. And then just let them kind of pendulum swing back. Nice. And then we're going to take our inhale again. We're just going to inhale and receive as if you can manifest and ask for all good things in your life and for your body. Whatever it is that you are focused on right now, just inhale as if you're receiving it right now. It's all a gift. We're all nice, love, and light. And then exhale, kind of a letting go of anything that might be in the way of receiving good things for ourselves. Inhale and receive some more. Lots of love and good health and abundance. Just joy and harmony, peace and calming, whatever we're in need of. Let it go again. Sometimes things are blocking us from receiving all of that good energy. And then one more for a beautiful week. Actually, a beautiful couple weeks, y'all. Taking good care of yourselves. Remember, next week is our as a break for Thanksgiving. All right, so give yourself a hug and a pat on the back. You're doing great. You're doing the best you can under the circumstances. And we're thank goodness for our bodies and our class and each other. So thank you, guys. Thanks for being here.